Oh boy, it is so good to have y'all here. It is great to see y'all sunshiny faces. We got people up in the chat already. We about to have a good time. So let's get it started with a little late ill kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it down. Bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen. We are here talking about the one, the only superhero. Man, holding it down for Freeland. Well, I guess he's not the only one. I guess he's the main one. That's right, Black Lightning. Before we get started, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Corey Toombs, we got Daryl in the spot, we got Therese in the house, we got Nicholas in the house. What is up? Great to see y'all. I'm glad we've been popping up in the chat. I've been talking to Nicholas for like pretty much about an hour or so now. So it's good to see you up in there. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send you to Markovia with no backup. So before I get started, big shout out to Geek Fine Art with the artist sponsor wall behind me. All this art, well, most of it, a good 90% of the art on this wall is from Geek Fine Art on Instagram. Check him out. He is super dope. Also, check out The Space Bridge from Arcatron. Incredible album. I'm on it. That's right. So you gotta hear them tunes, put it up in your head, and you be like, ah. So before we get started with any other characters, let's talk about Jace and Lynn. Yo, that little fight sequence they had, I was like, Nicholas Kelly, we were talking about, he was like World Star. Yo, Lynn has shown her distaste for Dr. Jace numerous times. All right, numerous, and it's good to see that there ain't no love lost, man. You can see, they right back to the fisticuffs, and also interestingly enough, they sort of have a shared trauma because Dr. Jace is there against her will too. She got the little bolt in her neck as well. You know what I'm saying? So for better or for worse, they're kind of in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess Dr. Jace is like evil, and Lynn is just like a drug addict. But I mean, they're sort of in the same boat, and they're kind of having to go through this. I did like Dr. Jace's like little list of how to be a friend. It was like listen sometimes. I thought that was funny. Uh, big shout out to Nicholas Kelly in the chat. Says master tactician and Lady Eve, because from a skill set and comic book abilities, Khalil or Painkiller would fit in perfectly with the Cobra Cult or the Council of Spiders, because either way, this would be a perfect fit for him. The good thing is that it seems for now, Painkiller has taken a back seat, and Khalil will be allowed to live some sort of life, maybe. Um, but I do like the way they depicted, TC going into his mind, TC using Jin's power to fight back Painkiller, and also bringing Jin into the mind. It didn't seem too cheesy. It made sense, and also it's good to have an episode where we sort of slow down, because not a lot happened in this episode as far as action, but we got a lot of growth and we learned a lot as far as what people could do and how far their abilities could go. And we revealed a lot of the characters revealed a lot of stuff to each other that we sort of already knew. Then we got to see Eddie Munster talk about, I brought y'all together. It was like, you ain't bring nobody together. We don't like you. But I like to see how scary Painkiller was in the mental state, and also how it affected TC, and how he came out of his mind the first time, and how worried and scared he was, and how trepidatious he was to go back in. Um, Big shout out to Keith Cooper. Big shout out to Blurtish, guys. I was speaking about the Space Bridge album. Blurtish.com. That's BLERD dash ISH.com. They have interviewed Arcatron this week on their podcast. So check that out. But good to see Blurtish in the building. Why? Because Blurtish, helps out with a lot of stuff. We collab on some stuff, and it's really cool. And speaking of collabing, it was good to see to have the whole team together. And what I mean by the whole team, we had Grace in the spot, Anissa, Jen was up in that place. We had Brandon, aka Curls, um, TC repping, Gamby coming through. Everybody in this concerted effort to go save Lynn. Now, I want to remind everyone, this is good that the whole team has came together. But remember, we're all coming together because Lynn is an addict. This is not only a rescue mission, but also an intervention of sorts. So don't sleep on that. Uh, Nicholas Kelly said Lynn finally ate crow. Um, Keith Cooper says F Eddie Munster. Other thoughts? I'm so glad Jill Scott back. Yeah, Jill Scott is super dope. So I'm glad to see what she brings to kind of like the villains kind of side and the rogues gallery that we'll have to deal with in time, going forward. Whether it's the rest of this season or into next season, because there's a lot on the plate right now. We got Tobias that's over with the Markovians. He's strapped up. He got the little I guess belts around him and stuff, and they don't seem too keen on Tobias. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're as scared or as impressed by Tobias as the ASA was. Like homie was like, but you ain't black enough, or whatever that line was, and they like jabbed him with the with the syringe. They ain't really tripping on Tobias like that. Even when Jace came in and he was like, yo, Jace, they got Dr. Lynn now, you know what I'm saying? You expendable. Jace was like, whatever, B, and like just bounced. Now, I mean, she might fall into that manipulation sooner or later, but right now, Tobias is behind enemy lines once again and without any help. And I like the way this show handles that because even though he's a villain, to a certain degree, you kind of root for him because he's on his own and he's sort of being tortured by both sides. So it's like, dang, man, Tobias getting beat up, even though he kind of deserves getting beat up. So let me take that back. It gives you these conflicting feelings about people like that. And I think it's cool. It helps the show continue to be fresh and continue to shake things up for all of us. Nicholas Kelly said L'Oreal is Geoforce. Yeah, he in the last episode he was about to say it, but then Jen cut him off. He was like, Earth Boy, Earth Force. Oh, Geo, and she like cut him off. So I love how you call him L'Oreal. Like I've been calling them curls. I met this lady at a comic book shop that was calling him something else, and now of course you calling him L'Oreal. So them curls, man, them curls bouncy, ain't they? I just need them one time to have him turn around slow like, let them joints. Whoo! But I'm glad because in these most recent episodes, he hasn't had the dumb face. In the earlier part of the season, every time I saw him, it seemed like he had a dumb look on his face. It's like, dude, are you there? Like, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Like, are you here with us? So I like the fact that he looks like he's more engaged now. And I've always loved his kind of chemistry on set, on screen with Jen, and now it seems like he's fitting in pretty well with with the other characters, even with Black Lightning, who shouldn't have popped off like he did with him. She was like, I ain't going nowhere without curls. And he was like, I can handle myself. If Jason's there, she killed my mama, so she got to go down. So I'm glad he got a little fire. He does need a suit, or even if he doesn't have a suit, he needs something more tactical, like rock some fatigues, you know what I'm saying, and the thing, the police thing, the the bulletproof vest, and maybe like a a hoodie or something. I don't know, man. Just something more tactical than looking like you run into the store. Like he looked like he going to school, and it's like, bro, you gotta come a little more correct than that. Nicholas Kelly said, I got names for him for days. Yo, put them down in the chat so I can read them out. Keith Cooper said Brandon equals Soul Glow. Man, he used to be known as Geo Dude. Wow. I'm glad they changed it to Geo Force. Wow. So also, big shout out. Want to take a break out. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming through. Watch and hit that thumbs up. Or you can hit that thumbs down. But if you do, I'm going to put you in the bed right beside Tobias. And you don't want that. I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that's doing their thing. Thought Crimes, love y'all, For All Nerds, Black Tribbles, Blurtish once again, big shout out to them that are kind of like pushing things forward and doing dope stuff and dropping hot content. Big shout out to Double Toasted, keeping it crazy as always. So big love to y'all. So how are y'all feeling about that fight scene with Anissa and Grace? Because I thought it was cheesy. Like when I saw that fight scene, it reminded me of the fight scene in Catwoman. Don't hate on the brother. I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of. It was way too much flippy do mess in it. It was way too much flippiness going on, and the whole like it was unnecessary. I think the argument could have went down in a different way where we still had some fun back and forth banter, but that fight scene was just I was not on board for it. Maybe I'm bugging, but let me know if I'm bugging. Uh, Nicholas Kelly said protective dad mode was activated last episode. Well, honestly, you know what? I understand why he was protective because the last boyfriend Jen had, they ran off, started this whole thing between Tobias, people trying to kill them, the ASA, all that. We got to go and find y'all, and then we had a little shack trying to defend y'all butts. So I do remember that. So maybe in his mind, he like, look, we don't need no new boyfriends right now. Cortoon says it's cheesy, but I love it. They've been playing with Grace for too long. Nicholas Kelly said, "You ain't wrong. It seemed more like play fighting mid flirt. Yeah, it was like y'all doing a whole bunch of flippy stuff for no reason. And ain't nobody's house got that much space to be doing all that flipping in. But I guess when you stealing from drug dealers and then buying super sweet condos with Jarvis in them, then I guess it's all right. Because trust me, Anissa has the black Jarvis. All right, it's the black female Jarvis up in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like Queen Anissa. Look, don't hey, reel it in. All right, because that's blood money that you're living on. You know that's blood money that bought that bed you wallowing in. But I got past that scene to see once again the very real relationship that we have with Anissa and Grace. I want to touch on this again because we see it so much in our media with gay couples where it's corny, it's cheesy, it's melodramatic. And in this show and in All American, you have gay couples where it's just normal. It's just a regular couple. There's no stupid melodramatic stuff going on where it's like cheesy and it's like, God, I don't want to watch this, man. It's just regular couple stuff and it kind of makes sense instead of kind of like stopping the story to do something. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Keith Cooper says, question, do you think we see Odell again or in another series? They made sure to mention Gotham. Yes. If he goes to Gotham, cool. I know some people have mentioned doing a crossover, that they might be thinking of doing a crossover with Batwoman and Black Lightning. I hope not, because Batwoman does not look like anything I want to watch whatsoever. And if they do it, if they do attempt a crossover or create a crossover, I will not be watching the Batwoman episode. Like it's just looked whack ever since I saw it in the trailer. But then at the same time, I'm not keen on any of the CWDC shows anymore. So, you could take that with that idea too. I don't like Arrow. I don't like Flash. I don't like Supergirl. I did like Arrow and Flash's first 2 seasons, which were fuego. But since then, diminishing returns. Keith Cooper said, "Don't let Pastor Troy see it." You know what? We ain't messing with Pastor Troy tonight. Oh boy, Pastor Troy, boy, he ain't having that. He ain't watching this. Oh man. So one of the things that I want to talk about that we really learned here in this episode was how deep Gamby's history goes. Like once again, we get these remarks about Markovia, about early ASA stuff. We see him speak Markovian. We see Eddie Munster, recognize him and talk about you were supposed to be dead. I think there's a lot of rich history to mine for a possible, roll with me for a second, a possible spin-off mini-series about a couple of his missions. Like, say, 5 episodes or so about a couple of his missions throughout his ASA time. I think that could be fun. I'm not saying go crazy with it. We don't need a whole series. But I would like to see some of this history, man, because Gambi was apparently like that dude back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo. And we saw how last episode dudes came in and Gambi was like, cow. Like, he don't play. He like, keep the toes close, boy. Pack up, chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? He don't play that. He sleep with the gun under the pillow. You know what I'm saying? Arcatron know about that sleep with the pillow. Like, see? You be like, what? You'll never know when it come out. Corey Toom says, don't nobody need Bobby bobblehead Batwoman crossing over. Yo, there's something weird about that like headpiece that just messes up her dome. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something about that headpiece. I ain't make it. Daryl says, I wish Arrow would have brought Joanna back. Keith says, I hope they got him out the game. I was tired of Pastor Pinky. Oh man, Pastor Pinky. Don't sleep on Pastor Pinky. We all love Pastor Pinky. Yeah. Corey Toom said them gun skills ain't come from nowhere. True that. Yeah. That's one thing that I like about, Gambi is that we always get this like look that there's more there in like a straight up assassin mode. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly saying, like I said, Uncle Gambi always carries murder on him like his old Spice body spray. Y'all going live tonight, boy. This is why I can't let y'all have that. Y'all tonight, y'all doing the one. Yo, Gambi one of those people that be like, yo, I'ma kill them, so you ain't gotta kill. Hove did that, so you didn't have to go through that. Corey Toom says, I still ain't forgot when he was ready for Odell to come up them steps. Yo, man, he was my, clack, clack, you know what I'm saying? Hit the click, clack, you know what I'm saying? Nicholas Kelly said, why does Jefferson keep forgetting that his adoptive dad just carries murder on him like Axe body spray commercial? Yo, man, look, he dealt with the fact that this is Gambi, in this world, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's look at superhero world. Say we in the superhero world, man. You got powers, I got powers, and we being heroes and we try to help out the world, all right? Sometimes people gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let people stay alive all the time. You know what I'm saying? Around killing people, could kill more people. You just gonna let them stay alive? You know what I'm saying? Say you try to put them in jail and they broke out 2 or 3 times. You just gonna let them keep on breaking out? No, sometimes you gotta sleep. You know what I'm saying? Sleep. You know what I'm saying? Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? Gotta put them down. Keith Cooper says, Gambi know where all the bodies are buried. Probably so. I would not bet against that. I think Gambi has definitely done his share of hiding the bodies and also taking out the bodies when necessary to pin it on someone else. So with that said, this is an episode that didn't blow me out the water, but I think that's because we are setting the stage. Of course, if you saw the previews for next episode, we're setting the stage for the assault on Markovia. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting pulling the people together, pulling the players together to be able to like, all right, it's gonna be action packed. People gonna be going down. We're gonna be listening to dope music. You know what I'm saying? While people getting chopped sake and chitty chitty bang bang. You know what I'm saying? Because Gambi ain't using no rubber bullets. Keith Cooper said Jennifer going to murder the whole block. Yo, Jennifer knows good and well she murdered people in that building, son. Like, she know good and well the people won't live in no more. She know that building won't empty. Therese says, is Gambi from the comics or made up for the show? Now that, I don't know. Nicholas, throw us a line on that one. I'm not sure. I just know Gambi on the show. Gambi don't play. Nicholas Kelly said, Gambi, stay ready. Batman scared to death of this hitter. And Corey Toombs comes through, says, there's something interesting with this painkiller Khalil dynamic. I keep forgetting that Khalil was just a regular school kid from the beginning. Tobias and Odell been trying to make him hard. And that's not who he is. Yeah. which now makes me wonder because I thought this was going to happen in his mind. I thought that he was going to let the door open and kind of subdue him and become kind of the mixture of the perfect Khalil, which would be kind of like perfect cell, kind of like good Khalil, but with the skills of painkiller. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I thought was going to happen. Maybe you can still do it this way with the crazy painkiller behind the firewall. But what I was expecting to see was him open the door and kind of like, chokehold him into submission or whatever, and see him kind of like his essence flow inside of him. So you could see like, oh, okay, cool. This is regular. This is the old Khalil from season 1 that we know, the one that was just running track, being a good kid. But he also got them skills where he could be like, ha, hey, you know what I'm saying? And you don't never know where it's coming. Hit you with that death touch, and you're dead. Don't that, that was not the move I needed to do. I might have to make a gift of that. All right, so Nicholas Kelly says, yes, Gambi is from the comics. He has a brother too, and he took care of Jefferson basically as his adopted dad. And it's like Daryl said, he's in the comics, but the show just made him better. Word up, word up. But yeah, I want to see Khalil. I'm interested in the skin always being poisoned. I'm interested to see where he goes from here, what he chooses to do with his life. Does he go inward, kind of like he was doing with his mind? Does he kind of remove himself from this? Or does he kind of go into the game and try to utilize those skills that are in the chip just without going full crazy? So we'll see what goes on because I don't think the preview showed him at all, and he might be a wash for a couple of episodes before he comes to terms with, of course, his mother being gone and him sort of doing it, but not really doing it. Nicholas Kelly said, that's what I wanted to, but now he's in a manipulative state, courtesy of Lady Eve. Yeah, so we'll see what goes on with that. Corey Toon said he might have some of the skills, but now it looks like Painkiller is going to be unleashed in dire situations. Yeah, I think it might be one of those things where, maybe next season or something, Khalil is in dire straits, or if he's in a life or death situation, or Jin is, and some way he unlocks the firewall and Painkiller comes out, takes over, and then he's like, all right, you got to get your butt back in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good man. You know what I'm saying? I only take you out when I got to put the smack down. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that plays out. Heath Cooper said he needs to leave after he killed his mom. Yeah, I think that's going to mess with him for a while, and hopefully he'll recover because I like him as an actor. And also it doesn't seem like anyone else in Hollywood is really, casting him right now. So I still want to see him on screen, but I don't know how this will mess with his psyche. So we'll see how that plays. Big shout out to Jenna James in the chat. What up, what up, what up? Nice to see you. Says Khalil's character could probably drive his own series as he battles to keep Painkiller at bay. It would be better served for Netflix or DCU streaming service or HBO Max. I'm not mad at that idea. I'm not mad at that. Something like that. It would have potential to be even better than Black Lightning. Have Tobias as a villain potentially. Their rivalry was probably the highlight of season 2. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against having Khalil in his own series. The only issue is how we surround him. You know what I'm saying? Like what we surround him with and make sure that his series or his story isn't too thin. But I'm not against it. I'm not against that at all. Nicholas said, so wait, Khalil is basically Naruto until he goes full Kurama Nine Tails mode. You know what? Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Like he's basically like that. Yeah, I'd say so. He has to go up to the gate and be like, I'm gonna let you out, but you gotta be good. And then Painkiller be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good, but I'm gonna be as good as I can. Jenna James says, man, Khalil didn't deserve all that, losing the ability to walk, getting his spine ripped from his back, and then dead. Then he came back, but then he killed his mom. Then he can't even move on. Yeah, he's actually dealt with a lot, and suicide is something that I was glad that was brought up because that's the type of stuff that could drive you to that, and then seeing him sort of overcome those feelings with the help of the support system around him, I like that. I like to see that. 6 shouts to Key Cooper said keep him in DCEU before Tyler Perry get him in more terrible wigs. Please, please, Khalil, don't go on Tyler Perry film. Please, please don't do it. You're gonna be like ashtray. See, I ain't gonna. This is an all ages show. I can't even say what the ashtray, but he gonna be like ashtray. He gonna be mad when he say it. All right, so guys, thank you for chilling. You know what I'm saying? We have covered pretty much this episode in a fun way, in a good way, but some other stuff has happened this week up until now. So I figured since we covered Black Lightning and we've talked about that, yes, Wayne Brady is in the thumbnail. Big shout out to Sean Kelly. Big shout out to Arcatron going to get that space bridge right now. No, Khalil didn't die. So we talked about Black Lightning, enjoy Black Lightning, but we got some other news going on. We got to see some Marvel stuff this week. And I'll throw it to you guys. If y'all want to talk some Marvel stuff from the trailers, holla at me in the chat. Let me know. We'll stay on for a little bit longer. We'll talk some Marvel stuff as I wrap up these chat messages from the Black Lightning side. Let's see. Jenna James said Khalil's storyline is literally depressing as he dead can't catch a break. But I really want to see how it's going to play out because he is one of my favorite characters, and I love his and Jen's scenes. Yeah, their scenes are always honestly emotional. Like they always come off as genuine. Nicholas Kelly said, "Do you think Freddie Munster or Colonel Yuri Mozan has Halo in one of those tubes? Because we may gain more outsiders." You know what? Halo. I've always thought Halo was a dope character. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Jenna James says there doesn't need to be a bigger base of operations because this team thing shouldn't be a regular thing. That's how the other shows fell off, if I'm not mistaken. Not enough focus on the main characters as they already have a fair share of characters as it is, I think. Yeah. I think this is just a special situation for them particularly. So Jenna James says, yes, I'm down to talk Super Bowl Marvel trailers. So we got to see a little bit of, Falcon, Winter Soldier. We got to see some of WandaVision. We got to see some of Loki, and we got to see some more of Black Widow. How are you feeling? Are you more excited? Or are you like, nah, I'm still gonna wait and see? I'll start off with the least of my excited shows, which is Black Widow. And it's not that I don't like Black Widow, and I might have misspoke for Black Lightning, but I meant Black Widow. It's not that I don't like Black Widow. It's that since this character is already dead, it's hard for me to get the excitement for it. This is still a movie that I think should have fell between Avengers 1 and 2. And I think I would have been way more hyped for it than I am now. Now I'm just like, cool, it looks great. I'll see it when I see. I'm not pumped. You know what I'm saying? WandaVision, I'm super pumped. It looks weird and I'm ready. I want to see like, that Doom Patrol weirdness, that Legion weirdness. I am definitely excited for that. I want to see where they go, how creepy, weird, freaky, wacky they get, because them together and Wanda's powers herself are just strange. It can be very, very, scale tipping and balancing and all that. Big shout out to Daryl said, I never liked Falcon becoming Captain America, but I did like the trailer. Nicholas said, do you think that Brandon knows about his royal heritage and his extended traitorous family? No, that I'm not sure, but we'll circle back on that in a second. Let's see. Nicholas said, trifling sister Tara, demented Uncle Baron Bedlam. And then Keith said, WandaVision looked meh with the comedy. Black Widow is so low on the scale for me. Jenna James said, facts, I felt mad about the trailer. Only thing that is making me look forward to it is Taskmaster. And Keith Cooper said, WandaVision does look creepy and weird. Taskmaster is something that I think could make or break the intensity of this film. If they put Taskmaster across as someone who physically, I mean, of course, with special powers, you could take down Taskmaster. And it's still tough sometimes in the comics to do that. But physically, if you make him someone who is extremely hard to even land a hit on, and someone who definitely means it when he kills someone, I assume that he'll be killing someone in this show. I think that this could come across as a really, gripping, like action-packed piece. I don't like the shot where she's falling and they're shooting behind her because I feel like she's an easy target to hit if you're doing that. And but other movies do that too. So it's not that I think it's corny. It's just that I wouldn't have chosen. I'm like, she's an easy target. Don't do that. But I guess if you got to jump, you got to jump. Falcon though, I really want to get into where him and the Winter Soldier go, their friendship, and also the kind of doors their series can open as far as the militaristic side of the Marvel cinematic universe, and also the kind of secret society side. Like the hidden documents. Is the CIA dirty? Is the Kremlin dirty? Is the FBI out to get us? All kinds of things on top of, Sword, and on top of Shield. And, I like those kind of like situations where you can get into a little bit of a political drama as well, and some political intrigue with, maybe people turning out to be spies that you didn't expect. So I really, really want to see that from there. And Loki, man, they didn't even really have a lot from Loki for him just being like, I'm going to burn this whole place to the ground. That alone got me hyped. Seeing how disheveled he looked, seeing like he looked like he had been getting tortured or whatever, I'm ready for that. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly said, preach, I'm more interested in WandaVision because it could lead to M-Day, Young Avengers, and so much more. Jenna James said, agreed, but hoping they do Doom Patrol Legion weird with WandaVision. But then again, how weird can you go on a TVG show, whereas Legion and Doom Patrol are TV-14, TVMA? So yeah, good point. But I think you can still do some maybe like what is reality type stuff. So we'll see, because I do know it's Disney, but I think they also know they have to push to a certain degree. And if you look at stuff like Clone Wars, there's some pretty serious scenes in there. They might cut it a certain way, but there's some pretty serious scenes, and that's an animated feature. Keith Cooper said Taskmaster is the film to me. He needs to live so he can come back. He would have been great for the former Netflix shows. Yeah, true that. Nicholas Kelly says the Winter Soldier and Falcon seems all right, but what really got me is the New Mutants because they my people. Yeah, and you guys know how I feel about the New Mutants. That joint looks straight lit. Keith Cooper said, I'm feeling a whole show of Anthony Mackie, to be honest. Man, isn't that no, man? They're both dope, man. Him, Sebastian Shaw together. I've liked their chemistry since Civil War. I think this show will work out pretty well, at least when they're on screen together. Let's see. Jenna James says, I agree with you with your theories about WandaVision and the way that they can bring back the original Quicksilver is simple. And the comic Scarlet Witch has used her chaos magic to fully resurrect people. If they're giving her chaos magic in the series and subsequent Marvel movies, she can do the same here. Yeah, because they've been fast and loose and vague about what Scarlet Witch's powers really are and the extent of them. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see how far they really go. Jenna James, Keith Cooper says Loki and the What If shows are what I'm ready for. Yeah, the What If shows should be a lot of fun too, for real. And they better get Young Avengers out of this, as Young Mutants will be dead on arrival, I guess, maybe. Jenna James says, I love how WandaVision trailer was showing parallels of different realities. I'm hyped for this next phase. Yeah, and that showing that show leads into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Those are the two things that have me most hyped, because come on, man, Multiverse of Madness, that just sounds crazy. That sounds like something you don't want to miss. And knowing how Wanda's powers work, at least from the comic book perspective, make this just right for crazy visuals. Big shout out to Therese. Said, to be honest, I don't want Falcon to become Captain America. I want him to be Falcon. Keep him as his own character with his own attributes. Um, yeah, I definitely get you on that one. It doesn't hurt me or bother me like some, but I see your point. I see where it's like, let him be himself. But I also understand the point of kind of like this symbol is needed, so somebody has to become this symbol. I kind of see where, you know, Cap can be like, yo, this symbol is still needed and I trust you. And Falcon being like, word, I got you. But then I also see the side of like, yo, he's Falcon and Falcon is enough. You know what I'm saying? So I get where you're coming from on that. Let's see. Jennifer James says, I love how the WandaVision trailer was showing parallels of different realities once again. And also Nicholas Kelly saying, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it could bring in this kind of shield sword, I guess, deeper look at them. I guess that's where you're coming from. And Keith Coper says, yeah, dead as a doorknob. Disney don't claim that Fox stink bomb left over. I don't know if New Mutants is gonna be a stink bomb, man. I think me and you been fighting on this New Mutants for a minute, Keith. I don't think. Look, don't sleep on that New Mutants, man. You sleeping. Now I could be wrong, but I think you sleeping. All right. So Nicholas Kelly says, from what I know of Scarlet Witch, she is on equal terms as power as the Phoenix Force, since she is a Nexus being and the only one to put fear into it. Hell, when she had a mental break and the whole mutant population takes a bang. Yeah, but see, that's comic side. We don't even know how much of that they're going to bring into the show. Because honestly, if you were to bring that into the show or into the MCU, that almost overpowers her because we don't have anything to correct her. We don't have anything like the Phoenix Force to correct her or anything like that. So you end up kind of with a OP Dr. Manhattan issue where it's like, well, nobody can beat him. You know what I'm saying? And unless you watched the Watchmen show, and you can see where you can't really beat him, but you can slow him down, I guess. Big shout out to Jenna James says they're casting Brother Voodoo as we speak for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Yes. And Photon Spectre cannot wait to see her OG Cat Marvel. Yes, love Photon. That's another thing. You're starting to get into these characters like Photon, where it's like power levels are they're gonna have to like lower their power levels because Photon is like on some like honestly, I think Photon could take Scarlet Witch. That's tough. I don't know. I might have to. This you're just getting into these weird power levels. Then you got you got Nicholas coming through saying because her brother gets murkier while he gets possessed by a demon that gave her abilities. And then Brother Voodoo is something that I'm super hype of. People have asked me many times who I would like to write if I was able to write a Marvel comic. Brother Voodoo. First thing I would drop the brother, it would just be Voodoo and give it to me, yo. I've been a fan of supernatural action, supernatural horror all my life. I would kill it as a writer on Voodoo. I ain't got the credits for it, but I still kill it. Big shout out to Sean Kelly. Big Arcatron coming through says, what if they made Black Widow a series instead of a movie? I don't know. I probably feel the same way. I feel like it's too late. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're kind of late for Black Widow, and I don't know why they waited this long, but I'm just not as excited because I know she's dead already. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just a prequel. It's just another prequel, and prequels are hard to pull off because people are like, well, her story's ended, regardless of what happened back in I don't know 1980 or whatever, wherever it's set. It's like we've seen it. We've seen her end. It's done. So it's going to be tough to pull this one off. Big shout out to Jenna James says, my thing is if New Mutants does end up being good, will Feige just close the door on those actors and risk them going to, say, DC? Or would he love to cast them, or would love to cast those actors in various DC roles, or will he keep them later down the line? I'll say this, and I mean, I got Kevin Feige on speed dial. I ain't talked to him today, but I'm gonna say this: if New Mutants is a hit, and when I say a hit, meaning it makes money, the fans love it, and the critics love it, you best believe, you best be believing that he's going to kick off the X-Men with that joint. It would be stupid not to. People love the actors. The joint made money. The critics love it. You know, I'm pretty sure it's already been put down on note cards and written in some kind of way where, like, if this joint hits, we can weave it in just like this. You know what I'm saying? That rhyme. A little rhyme. Big shout out to Jenna James says Photon probably could go toe to toe with Scarlet Witch, but you know the white man won't allow it. Nicholas Kelly said, from the look, since we get Wiccan and Speed, since the pacifiers begin floating into the air, so it could be heading that way with the eventual breakdown. True that. Big shout out to Arcatron says, Marvel didn't want it, pull the trigger on a female character till they saw Wonder Woman. Dumb on their part. Yeah, you know what? Good point. Good point. Yeah, that was super dumb on their part. They could have been out the gate first, and they let Wonder Woman happen, and now they're sort of trying to play catch up in a way where they can like just force wedge this movie into phase 4, 5, wherever we're at. Oh, big shout out to Therese. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. What up? dollar. Big shout out to Red says, I think Marvel should get back into the animated movies. They had a good start with Hulk versus Thor and Wolverine, Planet Hulk and Thor, Planet Hulk, Thor and Doctor Strange, but they stopped there and didn't keep going. Yeah, I think they definitely need to get their animated films back going. And big shout out to Chase Conley, aka Shane Chase, who kind of did a redesign in the kind of like a Takeshi Koike style of the X-Men. I would love to see something go forward in that. Disney, holla at your boy. I'll put you in contact with him, boy. You might already know him, but just holla. Big shout out. Keith says, I'm selling all my New Mutant stock. Drop that thing on Hulu. You know what, Keith? Look, when that movie comes out and it's good, I'm going to get on your podcast. I'll be like, I told you. And if it's bad, I ain't saying nothing. It's just going to be like, cricket. Nicholas Kelly says, honestly, I would love to write for Sync or Astrid Bloom, the telepath that made Emma Frost who she is today. Jenna James says, facts, Feige would be a fool to let Maze Haley walk for nothing. LMAO, DC/WB would be licking their chops for those two alone. Yeah, like don't sleep on those actors. Like those actors like do not sleep. Like, or actresses on this have proven themselves in other projects, which I'm ready for this New Mutants show. I'm super ready for this. With that said, Keith says they need to keep their animation game up. DC kills it. Harley Quinn bin flames. Yeah, see, I've heard many good things about Harley Quinn. She's not really my type of character, but I've heard good things. So, guys, with that said, that's it for the Marvel Super Bowl stuff that we got this week. Holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you down in them comments. Let's talk Black Lightning. Let's talk some Marvel, at least this time. I'll cut this off so we can make comments on both of them if you like. But thank you for rolling through. Of course, I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the chat. Therese, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Keith Cooper, for coming through. Shouts out to Blurtish. Got Nicholas Kelly, who was here way back before the show even started. Arcatron in the house. Go Cop Space Bridge. Jenna James, thank you for always coming through with them thoughtful thoughts and them super long paragraphs you put in there. Much love to you. Daryl came through. We had Corey Toombs in the house. And I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I'll know because y'all will shout me out and let me know that I missed y'all. So with that said, thank you for coming through. Much love to y'all. Can't wait till next week because we're going to be fighting Markovians. Pow. See, that they didn't take that jingle from me, so I'm going to give it to y'all for free. Big shout out to Daryl, said the North Carolinian thanks you. Yeah, yo, shout out to NC. We from VA, so, much love to you. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina in the house, North Khaki. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, guys, don't forget to check out Blurtish for All Nerds, The Blurred Girl, Double Toasted, Black Tribbles, Space Bridge by Arcatron, and of course, just myself, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. I really, really enjoy y'all's support. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Thank you for hitting that thumbs down. And thank you for hollering at your boy, because I always have fun doing this stuff. Before I bounce, Nicholas Kelly says, do you think that Brandon knows about his royal heritage and his extended traitorous family? No, I don't think so, because they haven't really done much. So we'll see on that one. Now, I saw you drop that earlier, so I'm not sure. I don't think so. But with that said, peace. Peace, peace. Arcatron say a peace, peace. Blurtish with Keith, a peace, peace. Nicholas say what up, peace, peace. Jenna James said peace. Daryl in the house said peace. Corey Toombs, my man, said peace. Peace. Until the chat said peace. Yeah, and when we out, VA. Oh man, hit that like button, y'all. Much love, and I will see y'all later. Peace.